I'm here to represent the Arthur Area Economic Development Corporation. It was formed in April of 2009 by a group of 15 board members. We meet on a monthly basis and talk about what we're doing, what we need to do, that type of thing. We are funded strictly by investors, all the way from $250 a year to $15,000. Our village is very supportive with us, and CHI has been a big supporter. Tri-County Welding, some of those people. We call ourselves the Arthur Area Economic Development Corporation. That covers roughly a 7-mile radius of the village of Arthur. And it's not set in stone, but those are the people we help. And in that area, we have approximately 450 plus businesses. And even though we're a small community of 2,300, in that 7-mile radius, we have another 4,500 people who live in the country. And so that makes us about a 65 to 7,000 resident, I guess you would say, in our area. We have over about 1,500 manufacturing jobs in this community. It's a challenge to fill all those positions. And CHI and Master Brand are both over 800 employees. So, and a lot of people don't realize that aspect of Arthur, that we do have a lot of manufacturing jobs available. We all know a vibrant downtown is very important. It's not the only thing, but it's an important aspect of your community. And we have that. We've undergone a great change here in the last 4 or 5 years from the standpoint that we were losing businesses, and some people got concerned about the loss of those. I really didn't worry too much about that, because I know the entrepreneurial spirit we have in this community, and I knew they were going to be replaced. But change is a challenge for everyone. Some of the businesses we were losing were long time, such as Delbert's Clothing, been here for 50 plus years. So it's difficult to take those out and replace them, but we did so in that particular case with 2 businesses. So in the last 4 or 5 years, we've lost, I think, 11 or 12 businesses from downtown, and we've gained 18. So it's pretty phenomenal for the entrepreneurial attitude and spirit that the village has, as well as the entire Arthur area. Big economic boon is this county school sales tax to your local community. And I know there's some people that don't shop in Moultrie County because that doesn't help their schools. So they try to do it in Douglas County. And it's interesting in Arthur because our main street is the county line. So part of our downtown community is in Moultrie, part of it is in Douglas. But that's been a big plus for us as far as helping our community grow and continue to build things and that type of thing. What the Tourism Council operates on, what we operate on, and the Association of Commerce operates on, that's all money that's not designated per se, like a tax or something like that. It's just stuff that people's invested in each of those organizations. So, and we do consider it an investment because it is about our future. You know, we've had a great past, we have a great future, or a great current time, and we want a great future for all our kids, you know. And as I've been told many times, you know, people paid for my convenience as I was growing up. They paid for my education or their education. Now it's our turn to step up and do our part of that. So, and that's just the way Arthur operates.
The Amish people came into this area in 1865 and bought farms here. And it didn't take very long for a good-sized community to come in. So I moved back into Arthur area in 1993. So now I am Mennonite, and I drive vehicles and have electricity and telephone and all the good little things. And then in about 95, 96, I started working in the Heritage Center in Arcola, and they started putting me on the buses to be a tour guide. Our churches were like from 9 o'clock in the morning to 11:30. Sometimes it would go to 12 o'clock. And we had hard benches. They had to sit on, they work for the salvation of the Lord and teach their children. They always say the old family that prays together stays together. And we would have company for lunch. They would come and spend the Sunday, or we'd be invited someplace. And on Fridays and Saturdays, we would clean house, we would bake, and we would dress chickens, so we'd have fried chicken for lunch, and we'd raise all our potatoes and raise all the vegetables in the gardens. Some of the other things that I get asked on the bus is, do they have washing machines? Or how do they do their laundry? And of course, sometimes I tease them and tell them that, yeah, they go down to the creek wash them on a rock, but but I do tell them they have washing machines. They do their own sewing. They're the sewing machines, the treadle sewing machines, and so they do all their sewing, make all their clothes on that. And the schools, the children now have Amish schools to go to. They have their own Amish schools with Amish teachers on that, and only go through the 8th grade. Rumspringen is the German word for running around, but when the young people are 16, they get to have their own buggy, horse and buggy, and they get to go with the young people on their activities on Sunday nights and during the week and such like. But the question is that do the parents make their children go out into the world for a year to see if they want to be out in the world or if they want to stay with the Amish families. The Amish people in this area are very friendly. They wave. When I do the tour buses, they will even wave at the driver. They have no idea who these people are, but they're very friendly. They only do not want their pictures taken. The first time I went to the bank in Arthur after I moved back from Colorado, there were all these men in there. They were all standing there, some of the women, and I stood and waited because I didn't want to get ahead of these people. And I finally realized they were all standing there just visiting with each other. And I really feel it's the friendliness of this community that really keeps the people coming back.
We felt as though as a small Legion post that we needed to try and include our area veterans and promote them. So years ago, the poor old pool hall was the only place that you could see veterans' pictures. Of course, they all hung out in there. And so we decided at that time when the pool hall went down and was torn down and it was raised with something else, another building, that we wanted to do something for the veterans. When the new community building of Arthur got built, Dick Hine and I decided that it was time to start promoting the veterans again. So we brought them out and we talked to the city board and they said, yes, you can put them up. But I hate to say it this way, but if you don't go to the restroom, you didn't get to see them. So we decided to go back to the board and try to do something a little bit better. And they gave us room in the new community building, in the new big room, to put them up. Noel Dix and Bill Crane took it upon themselves to take the pictures that were already in the cabinets and line them out so anybody that went in there could find them. So we labeled each mat that the pictures were in, and it corresponds to a book that is laying there also. It's been a long project. It's taken us almost over a year to get this whole thing done. We ran out of room, had to get another cabinet built with one of the local makers, cabinet makers here in the area. They built it for us, and it's number 4 up there, and we're starting to fill it up. So hopefully later on they can go back to the council and ask for more room and put another one on. Because we started out with Civil War, then it went to Revolutionary War pictures, the World War I, World War II, the Vietnam era, and then you have present day that are in there with all the attacks that we've had on our nation. Now out at the cemetery, David has gone and made a beautiful monument out there. We took the old monument that used to stand at the Legion Hall, brought it out there. He has 2 new statues out there. The 2 benches show all branches of service, and the Memorial Day and Veterans Day, we put out all of our flags out there, and everything shines out there. We're really proud of it. We had an open house. Chapin Rose was one of our speakers. Matt Bernius, our mayor, was one of our speakers. There was numerous others. We had veterans, families that came as far away as Indianapolis that one day to see the opening of it. I really feel this story was important to tell because of all the veterans that came from Arthur. At one time, almost every man back in, I think it was World War I, was gone from Arthur to the war. And we just felt as though the cases, the pictures, everything of the veterans of Arthur were taken down. We felt like they need to be brought back up.
They say that there's always something going on in Arthur, and there is. Whether it's the Strawberry Jam Festival, the Outdoor Expo, it could be the Arthur Cheese Festival, it could be the Mennonite Relief Sale, it could be one of many things, but you're right. But what it really means is there is always potential for more people to be visiting Arthur and potential customers to come into the village to find out what's going on. Way back in 1898, there were 25 businessmen that came together and they formed the first Arthur Businessmen's Club. And the whole purpose of this club was they were an organized committee and they wanted to promote their town, of the village of Arthur, and to bring business into the hometown. Well, by 1921, that same group of men had evolved. They now were called the Arthur Chamber of Commerce. They wanted to provide some very unique ways to bring people to town. And actually in 1921, they said there was a really progressive project they had. They gave away a 1921 Ford vehicle. And they wound up giving away this brand new vehicle the day before Thanksgiving. And it said even during, you know, the Depression days when things would be really slow and, you know, people didn't have a lot of money, they'd still have special days in town just to kind of separate themselves. By the time 1973 rolls around, though, this was going to be a really big celebration because it's actually when the village of Arthur was celebrating 100 years. And so they wanted to have an extra big celebration. It was so successful, they said, that when the festival was all said and done, they decided they wanted to do it next year. And so that was actually the first fall festival then, the 100-year celebration. The name changes in the next few years, and it's now known as the Arthur Cheese Festival. It's always Labor Day weekend, and they went from Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Now, living in our Amish culture here, that presented a little bit of a problem because we've always had lots of Amish businesses that would bring things in, but we knew that they weren't going to be there on Sunday. So the Cheese Festival itself kind of developed. It was 3 days now, but it was 3 very different days. And Saturday is always the day where we have the grand opening celebration where we cut the huge 300-pound wheel of cheese and start handing out cheese, and the cheese giveaways over the weekend. We'll have our parade that day, which goes through downtown. Sunday, because we know that some of the Amish stands are not going to be open, it's a little bit more of a laid-back day. We'll have a lot of gospel singing. We'll have a church service in the morning, and we'll still have all of our crafts and our vendors there, but it's just a little bit more laid back. Monday seems to be race day. We do that. We've had antique tractor races during that day. The festival itself has continued to evolve over the years, and we've added things to keep it unique, keep it interesting, and help showcase our community that's around us. The fact that we have so many festivals, or that we want to give everyone, no matter who you are, a reason to come to our community, a reason to come experience this Amish English heritage, and to see to get acquainted with what businesses and such we have.
I grew up on a farm just north of Arthur, and on one side of the basement I had a dark room, and you know, I was 13 or 14, and when I got tired printing pictures, I had fireworks. I was making fireworks on the other corner of the basement. So I still do them both. Back when Jack Scott of Bethany Sales, and we were working with him with the first shows, and Jack always said, you know, a lot of people come out for a good fireworks show, but it's got to be a good fireworks show. Around, I think 17 or 18 years ago, Arthur decided they wanted to, for one of their anniversaries, 125 years, I think, wanted to step up the fireworks show. And it was a good show. You know, it was the first time we ever had fireworks that were fired out of mortars. And, you know, there were several thousand people there. We did it to music. You know, we just played the music on basically on a hi-fi through the football field speakers. And it worked out well. We got enough donations to increase the budget the next year. And now we're at a point where last year, you know, we spent over $45,000 on the show. And then this year, after we got on the front page of the Chicago Tribune, this year looks like it's going to be in excess of $90,000 for this show. It's one of the biggest events, single-day event draw in Arthur's history, even bigger than when Johnny Cash was here in 1969. It's phenomenal what's happened. Law enforcement says there were, you know, anywhere from 55 to 65,000 people here last year. And with all the publicity we got, especially all the hits on the video that was posted on the Tribune website, that, you know, we could be looking at more, even more this year. You know, after I got involved in it, and then, I don't know, 4 or 5 years went by, and Larry was Amish at the time. And Larry decided, he came to me, and we were shooting a pretty good show. And he says, Mark, he says, you know what we need? And I said, what, Larry? He says, well, we need a 75-foot high, 500-foot long Niagara Falls. I said, okay, all right. Okay, I like that. He says, and then we need a 100-foot high, 500-foot long wall of flame. I said, okay, all right, we can do that. And he said, and then we need a guy riding a horse through there with the American flag. I said, that's great, Larry. I said, who in the hell's going to do all this? He goes, I'll do it. I just wanted to make sure it was okay with you. Here's a guy, Larry Schlabach, who was Amish at the time, and everyone who worked on it was Amish. And he comes up with this terrific idea, and it was such a monumental success when the fireballs went off and the Niagaras came down that people literally thought, well, they've done it. They finally have blown themselves up. When he comes riding out on his horse of freedom with the American flag, you know, it's kind of an analogy to this country. You know, even though this country goes through times of turmoil and, you know, wars, when people see that horse come through there with the flag, I'll tell you, this country, this great experiment will continue.
Everybody that calls in, we're going to give them hoot and holler.
Hoot and holler.
Hoot and holler, coming from WEIU. Let's give a really quick
hoot and holler.
A hoot and holler to Luke of Arthur, Brenda of Decatur, thank you, Brenda, and Gail of Arthur.
Yay.
Thank you so much.
Keep them coming, people. Keep them coming. This is your last chance with us this season.
So he's onto something. Lyle is onto something. You call, and we're going to do that for you, okay? So everybody that calls and pledges WEIU for your DVD, or your DVDs, or 3 or 4 or 5, whatever, we're going to give you a hoot and holler, okay?
That sounds good
so
to
who's
me.
going to be next? Right now, the number's at the bottom of your screen. We are really close to the goal that we've set for tonight, but we cannot do it without you. We've got Lyle, and we've got Mark, kissing cousins. They're like, can we say that? That's just a term. I mean, they're just old. They're just old buddies, cousins, cousins that like to talk about pigs and fireworks. And
That's
other
right.
things. So,
that's right. And we've got a lot of other people
yes.
here standing by to take your call right now, too. We've got 7 more people standing
Come
by.
on, people.
Call that number at the bottom of your screen and say, I want a DVD. I want 2, 3, 4, 5, however many you want, like Janet
right.
said.
Woo!
Like that person's doing right there. Keep them coming, people. Keep them coming. That's a Tanya Hirschberger right there, and she's answering the phone. Who's going to be next? We need to get Tanya and Lynn.
Uh-oh, she's passing it over.
Passing the phone. Let's switch chairs. This is fun.
That's
this is when it gets going. You keep them coming. Let's go.
Who's going to be next? Who's going to be next?
Ring that bell.
We've got Lyle and Mark.
Oh, okay.
And Dwayne.
There we go. Well, here, let me
Okay,
come on over
yeah,
here
go
and
on
talk
over
to
and
you.
talk.
So you guys really are cousins, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's look in that camera and explain to people together, how are you cousins?
Well, my great-grandmother was a door John, and his great-grandfather was a door John, and
brother and sister.
brother and sister.
You got to reach a little bit, but at least we aren't lying bread or anything.
It's blood. I mean, I'm related to George Washington by blood.
Are you really?
Yeah, we're about 10,000 of us in the country today are related to George Washington.
Your phone's
there.
ringing.
Yeah, go.
You
Answer
better
the
hand
phone.
the mic over.
Hello, WEIU, George Washington.
So
No,
I want you to
Mark
give a
speaking.
shout out and give people a challenge to call in tonight because this is their last opportunity.
My
You-
challenge are for all you farmers that I deal with every day in our business that y'all call in over the next 10, 15 minutes and buy a DVD and go home and watch it, give it for gifts, so forth and so on, because it's just been a great program.
Thank you, and thank you for being a part of it. I want you to give a shout out as well.
Yeah, and I want to tell you, these guys did a great job on this. Tremendous amount of work. It's by far one of the best programs I've ever seen. So it's a wonderful, wonderful show.
Your phone's ringing again. I'll tell you what.
You guys have been so difficult to work with.
Yeah, so difficult to work with. Yeah, well, see, that's what I'm talking about, jokesters.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right there. We want to thank both of you for being a big part of the program tonight and a big part of Arthur and the fireworks and the Moultrie Douglas County Fair. Great stories. You draw a lot of people to town, and I want you to help draw a lot of people to calling tonight and get their copies of DVDs.
Mark used to be on the fair board also. I think I could also issue a challenge to everybody that used to be on the fair board to call in and order DVD, which should be, what, Dwayne, about 75% of Arthur over the years.
75% of Arthur, there you go. We need you to call in. If you are a farmer, if we're on the fair board, this is your challenge right here. You call in. Jana, back to you.
Hey, that's a great challenge. I want to give a thank you to Tiffany from Arthur. So thank you so much, Tiffany. Let's get back to having fun. Those phones need to ring. And right now, we want to give you some hoot and some hollers and some yelling for you. So come on. We want you to call. We need you. It's almost to the end of the program. We've had a ball here tonight.
Yes, we have.
Fun celebrating with Arthur, all these 28 storytellers that have been such a special place in our hearts with this program. We want you to give us a call right now.
We've got about 4 minutes
4
left.
minutes, come on. Woo!
Get those phones ringing. We have yet to have a phone blitz tonight.
on.
We want all 8 phones going. Come on, you can do it. Show Arthur you love him. Show him you care. Show him that you love public media. We want you to call in and celebrate Arthur tonight, right here, right now. 4 minutes.
We went out with a bang. The last one was by Mark Jones. So you know what? Let's go out with a bang tonight with a full phone blitz.
You can
call
do it
right now. We'd love to hear from you.
We want to thank Carol from Arthur tonight.
Thank you.
You're number 70
Number
who has called
70.
in this evening, and we want to thank you. Keep them coming, people. Keep them coming.
We wanted to get to we wanted to get at least to 88, and we're at 70 right now with some people on the phone. If you have not called tonight, today is your time. Right now.
There
Come
you
on,
go.
woo!
Come on, keep them coming.
Come on.
Get all 8 phones going.
Yeah.
We know you can do it. You can do it. All you have to do is pick it up right now. We've got 1, 2, 3. Three more phones we need to fill up right now, so don't wait any longer. Pick up that phone right now.
Lyle's switching phones already.
That's okay. That's all right. You can talk to anyone you want to talk to. We'll pull them in from the other side of the studio or from the control room if there's someone that you want to talk to.
We sure will. Let's end this night on a phone blitz. We are so close. We need 3 more people. 1, 2, no, 4 people. 4 people now. Come on now. Come on now. Let's give
Arthur, we're
us a
so proud of you
Yes,
this
we
evening.
are.
You've shared so many wonderful stories with us. You've shared a lot of personal stories, a lot of heartfelt stories. It's all about community. It's all about love. It's all about being genuine. It's about spreading the good across the country. And it's happening in Arthur, and we want to spread it all across the world. And I hope that's what we're doing tonight.
I feel that we are, and look at how much fun the phone operators are having right now. That's what we're talking about. Coming to WEIU, we tried to tell our storytellers how much our live night, how much fun it is.
And everyone is having a good time.
It is having a good time. We got all these people over here that some have answered the phone, some have come with Arthur loved one tonight. And have you all had fun tonight?
Yeah!
We genuinely love the people from Arthur. We have had a blast getting to know people. And this isn't the last time we're going to be seeing Arthur people, because we will see you in your community, in your stores, at your festivals, at the everything. Hopefully not in the ambulance or the fire truck, but we hope to see you everywhere else.
Right. But if you do, they take care of you.
Yes,
there.
they sure do. They sure do.
We're playing musical chairs again. That's okay.
Fun. That's
Someone
fun.
else is wanting to talk to somebody over here.
Leslie from Mount Toon called. Thank you so much, Leslie.
And so did Cheryl from Arthur.
Wow.
So what do we have, 72?
72.
72 people have
We're
called
not
in
that
this
far.
evening.
That's 72 is amazing for Arthur to come up with that many people, but I
Yes, it
still
is.
know we're not over yet. It's
No,
not
we're
over.
not.
Give us the call. We could still get to 88.
Yes, we can. And don't forget about your challenge from Lyle. If you're a farmer, if you were ever on the fair board, you call in right there and you can talk to Lyle. I'm sure he'll stay here as long as he wants to, because he likes to talk.
What if you've ever been in a greased pig contest?
Yeah,
Yeah,
who
that would be a
knows?
good one. I bet there's a lot of people that have done that too.
The number's at the bottom of your screen. Give them a call right now. We still haven't had that phone blitz. You can do it. They're having fun back here. You want to be a part of this. Don't miss out.
Yeah, we are having a ball. We do not want you to miss out on this opportunity to get a program that's all about your amazing community of Arthur. We know that you will love the DVD. You'll get it in about 6 to 8 weeks. There's somebody that just called, so yay. You'll be getting your DVD in about 6 to 8 weeks, maybe sooner. But what a treasure to keep in your family, to keep in your DVD library for years to come. What a special time.
Absolutely. Someone, Juanita's calling in. I heard her name.
Juanita!
I'm not sure who else is calling in. We love to give shout outs to people. Here comes another one right here. This is Bob and Trudy from Arthur. So thank you so much for calling in, supporting Arthur. This is our story.
Can we get the people that are over here in with us real quick? Can we do that?
Arthur, everybody come on in.
Come on over here.
Everybody come on in. If there's people that are in the control room, come on in.
Come on in.
We want everybody here to be on camera tonight.
Yeah.
Come on in here and join us.
Come here, Iris.
Keep
Iris,
coming.
Right
These are
right
all
here.
of our
Right
friends.
here.
Where I need to be.
This is our
right here.
family.
Right here. Noel.
We love
Come here, Noel.
Arthur.
Come here,
These
Noel.
are the people who make it happen. Right
Come
here.
here,
These
Noel.
are the people who take you in as a friend. You may come in as a stranger, but you sure don't leave as one. So
how are we going to leave? How are we going to leave?
how are we going to leave? We going to do the chicken dance?
I'd give money to see Noel do the chicken dance.
I'm not sure.
We love Arthur, and we appreciate all these people that are here.
Tell the firemen. Dwayne Hopkins wants the firemen to keep calling, so keep calling.
He'll stay here. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for calling. We love Arthur, and we love these people that came out here tonight.
Thank you for supporting Arthur. This is our story.
It's been fun.
Arthur, This Is Our Story is supported by Tri-County Welding, big enough to serve, small enough to care. Roseland's Coffees and Delights, an atmosphere of relaxation, rejuvenation, and comfort. And the Yoder Center, a vital part of Arthur. Masterbrand Cabinets has a legacy in the Arthur community. Masterbrand, built on the solid foundation of craftsmanship, trend-forward thinking, and attentive service. Masterbrand Cabinets supports Arthur, and we are delighted to support Arthur. This is our story. A high level of integrity and a strong belief in the good people of the Arthur area describes the Arthur Community Bank. Arthur Community Bank is proud to help bring you Arthur, This Is Our Story on WEIU TV. Polly's Barbecue of Arthur, ribs, pulled pork, and smoked sausage is proud to support Arthur. This is our story. Congratulations to all of the Arthur storytellers for your devotion to Arthur. Arthur, This Is Our Story from Polly's Barbecue. The village of Arthur, located in the heart of Illinois Amish country, is proud to help bring you Arthur, This Is Our Story on WEIU. The Arthur area is home to the largest and oldest Amish community in Illinois. Enjoy the show from everyone from the village of Arthur. The Sarah Bush Lincoln Arthur Clinic provides home health care services to the Arthur area. Sarah Bush Lincoln Arthur Clinic, trusted, compassionate care, is proud to be a part of Arthur. This is our story. State Bank of Arthur is a community bank that welcomes the opportunity to serve the people of the Arthur area. State Bank of Arthur thanks everyone associated with Arthur. This is our story on WEIU. State Bank of Arthur, member FDIC. The Arthur Downtown Merchants are delighted to support Arthur. This is our story on WEIU. The Arthur Downtown Merchants congratulates all of the Arthur storytellers and WEIU for Arthur. This is our story.